This year on Great British Menu.
I'm really feeling the pressure.
I think it's too close to call.
The country's best chefs are competing to showcase contemporary British cooking.
Showtime!
In the year the nation marked the Queen's 90th birthday, the chefs are celebrating the everyday Great Britain she's honoured for their extraordinary achievements.
It's the most amazing thing you could ever receive.
The prize, to cook at the ultimate banquet held at the historic Palace of Westminster. Here they must demonstrate the coming of age of British cuisine.
When everyone's going for top of the leaderboard, then I won't be the one that's there.
Do you think you're on track that all of a sudden something's missing? That's the magic right there in the pan.
That was a stunning dish.
This year, the chefs have been meeting Great Britons who've been honoured by the Queen for their endeavours.
Welcome to St Anne's. This is the MBE which Prince Charles gave me.
Inspired by these impressive individuals, the chefs must demonstrate the transformation of British food during the Queen's historic reign.
I can't criticise this dish.
Their challenge to produce a lasting legacy
I've seen many things in my time, but I've never seen anything like that.
to this new Elizabethan age. This week, competing to become Northern Irish champion are three ambitious chefs. Third-time contender Chris McGowan, who has the banquet in his sights.
Great to be here. First year, got to the final. Second year, got to Judges' Chamber. Third year, all the way for me.
Making his competition debut, Eddie Atwell, whose food philosophy is focused on the land.
I hope that my unique natural approach with local and seasonal produce should take me to the banquet.
And finally, fellow newcomer and Daniel Clifford's head chef, Mark Abbott.
As a chef, I've always pushed the boundaries. I'm going to do that this week, and that is going to give me the edge.
Judging the chefs this week is a banquet winner whose cutting-edge style left its mark on the Great British Menu.
Anybody you don't want?
You want a list?
Yeah.
Holder of a Michelin star and a first-time winner.
I think they're all going to be daunting.
I don't think it's going to change my nerves anymore.
I want to be physically sick.
Michael O'Hare.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, chef.
Chris, 3 years in the competition now.
Third time lucky, I hope.
Mark, you're head chef at Daniel Clifford's 2 Michelin star restaurant. You feeling confident with that?
And I'm here to give the competition everything I have.
And Eddie, new to the competition?
Yourself walking through the door. It's one of those, just keep my head down.
So, guys, you know, this time last year I was in your shoes. Arguably slightly nicer shoes.
They're pretty impressive.
Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.
I'm looking for authenticity, originality, and great tasting food. I look forward to eating it all. Best of luck.
Thank you very much, Chef.
Thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
Definitely wasn't on my radar. That's definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that surprised me.
First up and competing for the third time, Chris McGowan.
Morning, Michael.
Chris, how you feeling?
Very good, yeah, good.
What is your starter and what is the inspiration behind it?
This is Hugh. Hugh won the World Champion Plough Championships 3 years in a row in the late 50s, early 60s. Hugh's been honoured by the Queen with an MBE this year.
OK, what are you cooking?
It's a kind of take on a ploughman's. It would be something that Hugh would identify with. It's called Hugh's Peace Box. Peace would be a slang in Northern Ireland for a sandwich. We've got ham knuckle. We're going to kind of roll that in a ballantine. We're going to wrap it in some of this fantastic Cumbrian ham.
OK.
We're going to take this English mature cheddar and we're going to make a little mature cheddar soup from that. We're going to take some spring onions and make a little onion bread. And then we're going to do a little ham knuckle grue beans.
Sorry, grue beans?
Grue beans. It's kind of like a ham knuckle that's been pulled, but it's got pig skin in it as well. And we're going to wrap it in pork fat, crackling, and then fry it. So it's like a little crispy ham knuckle.
Really healthy.
Yeah, it's good. Good joy. That's, you know, you're out in the field, you're ploughing every day. You want substance, you know. So they're really humble ingredients, but hopefully I'm able to elevate them to a winning dish.
I'm certainly intrigued to try that soup. Best of luck.
Thank you.
I'm a little nervous for Chris on this. It seems like it's essentially soup and a sandwich. So it'd be interesting to see if he can elevate that to make it a banquet-worthy dish.
Next is Mark Abbott with a box of surprisingly ordinary ingredients.
Mark.
Good morning, Chef.
Welcome. Has Daniel Clifford signed off all your dishes?
We've talked about it, but this is Mark Abbott on plates.
Glad to hear it. Your starter, What's it called?
Ordinary to extraordinary.
And in it?
Well, as you can see, there's quite a few potatoes.
Yeah.
Throughout my research into the brief, I kept coming across humble, genuine people which have done fantastic things for other people. That got me thinking, what is the most humble ingredient? The basic potato. I want to elevate and create a dish which is exciting. Starting off with this particular variety, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bake these. I'm going to turn that into a croquette, and then I'm going to wrap that all in pork skin.
Okay.
I'm going to make a buttermilk mashed potato. I love potato salad. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a nice little bacon cone, and then going to fill that with purple potatoes. Also, I'm going to make potato crisps. So they're going to be puffed up, and on top of that's going to be covered in a bacon jelly. I'm also going to be doing little garlic scooped out potatoes rolled in their own skins.
Good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Serving potatoes in 6 different ways, it's really clever and it's really original, but I'm worried that it's not going to excite the people at the banquet.
Last up is Eddie Atwell, who grows many of his own ingredients.
Morning, Chef.
Welcome.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Yeah, get there.
Nervous?
Good. A wee bit, but more anxious to get cooking.
Good. Your starter, what's the name of it?
So it's called a royal condiment. So basically, the main element of it is it's the HP brown sauce. So for me, it was the royal warrant. It's giving out the royal standard.
You making your own brown sauce?
Basically, we're starting off with soaking tamarind, which is the main base behind the brown sauce. Every ingredient has a standard on it as well. Every ingredient has a mark, and they all working together to create this. What I'm thinking is this is me championing all the standards together in the warrants to make this brown sauce. The other thing I'm using is the pork. I'm using the pork to go from nose to tail of the pork really with this. So again, it's British pork, but maybe the most unused products.
So you're cooking the pig's tails,
yeah, exactly. The head's probably one of the first things that I've ever prepped when I was a young chef.
Let's have a look at your head. Yeah, looks
I
good.
love making pig's head. They're delicious as well. So basically, remove the meat with the skin on, the 2 sides, and then that'll reveal the meat inside, so the cheeks, nice brown meat, and along the snout as well.
Excellent. And what else is in the box?
So we've got some white pudding as well, and with that, I'm going to be using that with the white meat, again with the capers as well, just to get a little bit of vinegar.
It looks really interesting. It looks like a great few starters we could have here. So best of luck to all of you, and look forward to tasting it.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Eddie's a royal condiment. The ingredients in this box look phenomenal, and I'm excited to see this dish. I think it's going to taste great.
As the chefs start cooking, Chris's experience in the competition is the talk of the kitchen.
I've had mixed reviews over my starters. I know how important it is to get off to a kind of good start.
It's about delivering it, isn't it? It's getting what you want out of your food on that plate under this pressure, under this environment.
All 3 chefs are using pork today. Eddie is championing underused cuts from the pig's head and tail, which he prepares by scorching with a blowtorch and brining. Mark is using bacon to make a savoury jelly, a crispy topping and a basket for his potato salad. Chris is using ham knuckle in his ballotine and crabines. He's cooking the meat in a pressure cooker with a mirepoix, chopped carrots, celery and onion.
Chris, the pressure's on, mate.
The pressure is on. We want to represent Northern Ireland, don't we? That's what it's all about. That's why we're here.
Exactly, yeah. What a privilege it would be.
Chris McGowan worked in some of London's top restaurants for over 12 years, and last year moved back to Northern Ireland to start his own restaurant, Wine and Brine. Chris is approaching his 3rd time in the competition with even more grit and a new strategy.
This year, my style of food is probably a little less frenetic, a little bit more focused. Really hungry to get back in there. Hopefully I can get all the way to the banquet this year.
For his menu, Chris is celebrating extraordinary Britons from ordinary backgrounds honoured by the Queen.
This is Hillsborough Castle.
Chris lives in Hillsborough with wife Divina, just minutes from the Queen's royal residence.
Very grand, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
It's the perfect place to taste a sample of Chris's starter.
That's delicious.
The brief this year is about Great Britons, and you know, Hugh is a Great Briton.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a fantastic man. You know, he's really humble.
I think he would love this.
I think he would love it, yeah.
In the kitchen, Chris is baking onion bread. and making a caper and raisin puree by blending golden raisins with capers. He starts making his cheddar soup, frying off onions and garlic before reducing with white wine and adding fresh thyme, milk and cream. For his ambitious dish of potatoes 6 ways, Mark has several pans on the go.
So you're flat out with the spuds today anyway?
Oh, it seems like potatoes everywhere.
He bakes Yukon Gold potatoes, he's using the flesh for the mash, and the croquette and the skins will be used for the infusion. Mark also makes potato puffs by deep-frying granules of wheat and potato that inflate when fried.
See Daniel Clifford, who's your mentor, and you think about what he's been able to deliver in this kitchen, you know.
It's inspiring. I want to do him proud.
Yeah.
I want to do the restaurant proud. I want to do my family proud.
Yeah.
For me, that's the most important thing. Okay, 2 canapes away, table 7.
Mark Abbott is currently head chef at Midsummer House under GBM veteran Daniel Clifford.
Service! Come on, let's wake up!
Winning the competition's everything. I will not accept second best. I'll be pushing myself to the complete maximum, and hopefully that'll be enough.
A farmer's boy at heart, Mark returned to his roots in County Antrim, where his family still lives.
Well, Mark, many's a fond memory I've spent here on the farm.
Being brought up on the farm, it was just a fantastic opportunity, and there's things even now I take inspiration for the dishes which we come up with. Well, I've actually got some of the elements from the starter with me. It's also bringing in potatoes, which is something which would never have not been on dinner.
That's right. The humble spud was in some shape or form every day.
Mark wanted to try out his starter on some real potato connoisseurs, his family.
So that's a potato which has been cooked in garlic and cream and then rolled in its own skins.
Potatoes don't normally taste this good at the dinner table at night time.
Caroline, we'll have to get a new menu here for our cook.
Very different to what we normally have, but it was lovely. Make it again.
In the kitchen, Mark is making his bacon jelly. He brings a bacon stock to the boil with a gelling agent, then leaves to cool and set on a flat tray. Next, he moves on to one of his trickiest elements, the pomme soufflé.
What we got going on here?
So this is my pomme soufflés. So I'm literally just taking the 2 slices of potato, gluing them together with an egg white and corn flour solution.
Okay.
And then put them in the dehydrator and then fry them. Fingers crossed, they puff up.
You haven't given yourself too much to do?
No, there's not much. All it is a potato at the end of the day.
Fellow newcomer Eddie is starting the star element of his dish, brown sauce. He cooks down tamarind pulp before adding tomato, onions, dates, black treacle and dark brown sugar. For piquancy, Eddie adds malt vinegar, English mustard and Worcestershire sauce.
I hope there's enough vinegar coming off this to knock your taste buds off.
I can get it from here, mate.
He simmers his brown sauce under a cartouche before blending.
Eddie, probably for a lot of people on Great British Menu, you're probably a bit of an unknown quantity.
I aspire to be where you guys are. I'm going to try and get as much out of this. Just going to get on with it.
Eddie Atwell was head chef at the acclaimed Ardtara country house in Magera, Northern Ireland for a year. His obsession with food is all-consuming.
Right, check on 1 beetroot, 1 beef. Serve it.
Eddie's used his training and passion to cultivate his own style, and he's using his own culinary journey to inspire his menu.
Style of cooking has evolved as with the people I've worked with. So it started off sort of classical French and moving into more modern British, and then moving towards sort of the more natural side of growing and foraging.
Eddie's passion lies with using seasonal ingredients close to home, either foraged or grown by himself.
There's no food miles. It's steps, you know, from the back of the restaurant into the garden. Within a couple of hours, someone's going to be eating that now.
Eddie was keen to see what sous chef Kev made of his rolled pig's head with brown sauce.
Brown sauce is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought 2 bits because I think I could eat more.
I think I'm happy enough with that.
Oh, if anyone got that, they'd be happy.
Eddie is now working on his pig's tails by stripping the cooked meat from the bones. He also separates the white and brown head meat.
What are you doing?
Just finished my pig's tails in my head, so I'm just getting ready. The sauce has come out, so I'm just getting ready for that now and try and get the balance right in the flavour. Again, it's something you don't want to be overpowering too much, and want to make it work. There's a lot of pickles. A wee bit. Kind of busy fool, is it?
It's like a Turkish sauna.
Chris is finishing his ham knuckle ballotine. He shreds some of the meat, adds chopped parsley, capers and mustard, and binds with a reduced stock and gelatine solution. He assembles the ballotine using knuckle meat and air-dried ham, then chills.
When you come to this kitchen, you want to throw your heart and soul into it. I mean, this is what we do. We do this for passion.
Next, it's on to an Irish speciality.
What you're on with?
This is our green beans, yeah. So this is a very traditional Northern Irish. This is the kind of thing that you would have got when you come in off the field.
Okay. So this is something that I've never seen before.
Have you never had before? So what we've done is a white sauce, basically, a little bit of mustard in there, all the ham that's been pulled in, a little bit of parsley.
But now you're looking for time. Feeling confident?
No. No pain, no gain, chef. You know what I mean? That's why we're here, isn't it? You know.
Just had a look at Chris's carabines. All the sizes are different, and I'm worried that he hasn't quite got that precision that he really needs to elevate a dish in this competition.
Not content with the first batch, Mark is making his pomme soufflé again.
How's the pomme soufflé, chef?
Pomme soufflés are being pomme soufflés.
Adapt and overcome, chief.
Mark then assembles his purple potato salad and finishes his champ croquette by rolling in dehydrated pork crackling before deep frying.
Soufflé is a bit of a knockback, but as chefs, we always come back fighting for more, so that's what I'm doing now.
Eddie is also onto the final elements of his starter. He combines the cooked white meat from the pig's head with white pudding, capers, lemon and parsley. And rolls half in the skin with some brown meat, then uses the remaining mixture to stuff the tails, which he'll deep fry.
I've got my head straight now, and I think I'm feeling a bit more confident in everything, so let's see.
Chris is first to the pass with his take on a ploughman's lunch, inspired by celebrated ploughman Hugh Barry Barr. He finishes off by deep frying his carabines. Onto a board go individual loaves of onion bread. Next, slices of ham knuckle ballotine.
The pressure in this kitchen is absolutely immense.
Chris then adds cubes of pickled apple and the ham knuckle crabine. Next, droplets of caper and raisin puree and a shard of pork scratching. Chris garnishes with radish and baby leaves and serves in a ploughman's presentation box. The mature cheddar soup is poured into an enamel vintage flask.
So Chris, can I have a look inside?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hugh Barry Barr is a Northern Irish ploughman, awarded his MBE services to ploughing in 2015. He celebrates his 90th birthday with the Queen this year. Right, should we go and taste it, Chris?
Yeah, yes, please.
It's beautiful, Chris. Well done.
Well done.
Guys,
Look,
enjoy it. How do we eat it? Does this come out the box?
I think, yeah, I'll take it out of the box for you, Michael. We just take it out, but... Oh, pardon me.
It certainly looks stunning.
You can smell it as well. You can smell the onion coming off, so that's beautiful.
And then try the soup.
Yeah. Should I drink it or...?
I think, yeah, drink it, yeah.
I find with the soup, it's a beautiful, rounded flavour. You imagine sitting out in the field drinking that, you'd be a happy man.
Absolutely.
That's the thickness you were looking for?
Yeah, I think, you mean, it's quite creamy, or it's quite velvety.
You happy with the seasoning on the ham?
I am, yeah. You know, sometimes knuckles can be a little bit over-seasoned, and I'd be conscious of that.
Yeah, so the knuckles got great flavour, hasn't it?
I mean, it's so moist. It's beautiful.
The crabine, you happy with it?
Yeah, I was relatively happy with that.
The little crabine on the side, can you get around the fact if you could lift somebody's teeth out?
Do you think that you've elevated that ploughman?
I think so. I think it's a great dish. I think it's a tasty dish.
So finally, Chris, what would you score this?
In and around a 7 and 8 would be a respectable score.
7's all right?
Absolutely, I'd say 7s.
Next to the pass is Eddie, who's putting the finishing touches to his starter, a royal condiment.
Well, guys.
Well, fellas,
Yeah.
how you go?
Yeah, I don't know. I was relatively happy with it, you know. You know, there's always room for improvement in this competition, you know.
For extra flavour, Eddie scorches his rolled pig's head with a blowtorch. First into the bowl is apple gel, followed by apple balls. Next, rolled stuffed pig's head dressed with a dash of Eddie's brown sauce. He adds crispy nuggets of stuffed pig's tail and hand-foraged sea beets. Finally, pickled cockles in a cider and cream sauce, caramelised banana shallots and crispy topping.
Are you ready to come to pass, Eddie?
Yes, chef.
Eddie's brown sauce is served in a separate bottle.
Yeah, chef.
Eddie, how are you feeling?
Anxious.
You can see that Eddie threw his heart into that.
It looks stunning.
Right, let's go and eat
That's right,
it.
chef.
That's the most sweating I've seen anyone do in that kitchen.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I think I've lost about a stone there after that. So,
You can see his passion in this.
Yeah,
Nose
yeah.
to tail eating.
Yeah.
Brown sauce.
I don't think I'm on for any copyright laws, but I think it's doing what I need.
Packs a punch.
It does, yeah, doesn't it? You know what I mean? I really like it.
Texture of that pig's head. Happy with that?
Indeed.
What I'm impressed about is cooking it in the time. It was a brave choice, you know?
And it takes a lot of skill.
Yeah.
This is the tail, the crispy tail.
Very rich for what it is. I love the product.
Pig's tail, I really like.
And small bit of the brown sauce on there worked wonders.
Yeah.
It's quite an intricate bowl you've got there. Are you happy with the mechanics of how you actually eat out of that?
I didn't want to go flat on the plate. I wanted any juice that was coming out of any element, that to be still in there and to be it.
To me, we're celebrating the brown sauce.
Yeah.
And I find it a little bit peculiar. We're eating it out of a bowl.
So, if you had to score it out of 10, what would you give it?
I'm pretty modest. I'd say 7.
Last to the pass is Mark, with his complex starter of potato served 6 ways.
So, Eddie.
How you doing, boss?
Well, perspiration stopped anyway.
Yeah. Were you happy?
It's what I intended. I'm happy it came out like that.
Mark starts by layering discs of bacon jelly on his pomme soufflé and topping with chopped crispy bacon. These are presented on potato puffs served in potato skins.
Everything come out as expected, the pomme soufflés?
Honestly, they haven't came up completely perfect.
Into a bowl, buttermilk mash, followed by a layer of crispy potato puffs.
Are you up against it?
I think I've been up against it as soon as I walked in these doors.
Next, spheres of creamy garlic potato in a crispy potato skin crumb, and purple potato salad in a bacon basket. Then champ croquette, baby onion shells, and droplets of pickled onion puree. Mark garnishes the dish with nasturtium leaves and chopped chives. The dish is served with a separate baked potato infusion.
Okay, Mark. The name of the dish?
Ordinary to extraordinary.
Gents,
It's unbelievable.
should we go and taste it?
Love to, chef.
Thank you very much.
Are you happy with how that went?
For me, this is me on a plate.
From ordinary to extraordinary. He's definitely done that, hasn't he? You know what I mean?
Absolutely times 6.
The potato soufflés.
You got the crispiness of the potato, and then you have that really intense jelly on top.
That's good, isn't it?
Hard to whack on it.
You know what I mean? That's good.
And now with the onions. What we got in the centre?
Just a little onion puree.
How it goes.
They're nice, aren't they? Nice texture to the onion.
With the champ croquette, you happy with the crispiness on the outside, the pork skin?
Yeah, I'm very happy with that.
I suppose that's a little nod to Northern Ireland.
Absolutely.
The champ, spring onion, do you know what I mean?
Potato salad tells you how you want to do it.
Yeah, it's quite moist, and the bacon itself, it's not too crispy. I like that sort of soft texture.
This is the little bacon basket, is it? With the little potato salad.
That's the way it's coming out like that.
Yeah.
You get the crisp to it, you get the potato
Yeah,
salad.
the skill factor that went into that. You know what I mean? You can definitely see that the boy's got talent.
He's definitely rumbled me.
Yeah.
If you had to score it out of 10,
9.
why 9? Why the mark?
Because I'm upset about the pomme soufflés.
What bothers you about the pomme soufflé?
They're not perfectly round. All right, lads.
How's that?
I wasn't 100% happy with my soufflés. He was giving me nothing. It makes you doubt yourself, doesn't it?
It does. This is the nervous, anxious way.
Hi, chefs. Well done. I'm going to start with you, Eddie. And your dish, a royal condiment. I thought essentially this was a beautiful, accomplished piece of cooking. The pig's head was amazing, and I thought the crispy tail was lovely. I think this really hit the brief, and it was very original cooking. But the star of the show was the brown sauce. For me, it didn't shine through. I thought it was maybe overly sharp. I would have liked to have seen more done with the presentation of the brown sauce. I think the bowl made it difficult to spread that sauce throughout. Chris, for your dish, use piece box. I think this really hit the brief. The ham hock and the crabine, they're really tasty, and I think every single part of your dish was cooked really well. I thought the bread was outstanding. The soup was interesting and a different flavour. But it's too big of a flavour to drink from the cup like that. I would have liked to eat it with a spoon. My main criticism is I think it was lacking a little bit of originality. It was essentially ham hock and soup, and I think that's something that we've seen quite a lot of. Mark, for your dish, ordinary to extraordinary. When I saw your box of ingredients, it's arguably the most uninspiring thing I've ever seen in my life. And from it came this incredible plate of food. There was a lot of elements on the plate, but I think every single one of them needed to exist there. The champ was delicious. With your pomme souffle, you weren't 100% happy with them because they weren't perfectly round. Who cares? The onion puree underneath, it was unexpected and it made it really, really good. This was a phenomenal dish. So to the scores. Eddie, for your dish, I'm scoring you 8. Chris, for your dish, I'm giving you a 7. Mark, for your dish, I'm scoring you 10. I thought it was flawless. Really enjoyable plate of food. So well done, guys. Great start for the region, and look forward to seeing what you've got for fish.
Thanks, Chef.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well done, mate.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah, well done.
I put me all into that, and there was a lot of emotion, family from that, the background. And yeah, I'm speechless.
I got an 8. It was pretty much down to presentation to improve it, but, you know, I think I could do that given another chance.
There's a 10. Hopefully there's a few more in the bag. So it was a 7, it wasn't a 5, so it's not the end of the world. You know, I've come from behind before. I hope the story of my menu kind of comes through at the end, you know?
I could not believe when he opened his mouth and said, "You've got a 10." Ugh. It's hilarious.